I'm going to be reviewing the Eachine Aurora 100. It's a micro FPV racing drone and can be used indoors and outdoors and is very tiny, to be honest. So let's do an unboxing. So once you open it up, you get a manual for the drone, which is in colour, which is great. I did previously open it off camera, so it doesn't look identical to what it shipped with, but this is basically everything in the box. Then you get a Eachine battery. It's a 3S, 450 milliamp hour LiPo battery, but it's got a very high discharge rate of 80 Cs, which is great. Then you get a battery strap. You also get, this is a cable to wire into the flight controller, so you can plug it into your computer. You get an Allen key and a screwdriver. This here, you can also just plug directly into the drone, into the flight controller, and then straight into your computer via USB. And then that allows you to just connect to Betaflight like that instead of wiring it up through this method here. Then you get some spare props and some screws, and then this is the actual drone itself. As you can see, compared to the size of my hand, it's very, very small, which is good for flying indoors, but you can also fly this outdoors. Then you have got the camera and transmitter at the front, and then it's got a 4-in-1 ESC, which all the motor wires are wired into, as you can see, and then an LED strip at the back with a JST connector, and sticking out at the end is a receiver for my radio, which is the FlySky. So I'll power it on and I'll be right back with you guys. Now, to bind to your transmitter, all you need to do is, see that little button just there? You press that down whilst plugging in the battery, and then you turn on your transmitter. I have got the FlySky, and you turn it on, hold down the bind button. See, now it says RX binding. Then the light on here will go from flashing blue to solid blue, and then you'll know it's bound, but you don't get any telemetry from this drone. So if you turn it on, you should just get something like this, because there won't be any telemetry, whereas on other drones you do get telemetry. So that is one minus, but it's not too big a deal. So this is it all plugged in. You can see the LED strip at the back, which is currently flashing red, going back and forth, but you can change that to anything you want in Betaflight. It does have an built-in buzzer, so you can hear whatever, what the drone is doing. And now we're going to jump into my computer and see what the configuration is in Betaflight. Now, to connect to the computer, you get this wire here that comes in the box, and you plug it in to the flight controller. Then once you've done that, you just get the other end, which is USB, and you plug that into the computer. As you can see, the drone comes on. Hello everyone, so now that I am in my computer, to download the Betaflight software, all you need to do is type in Betaflight. And search for Betaflight configurator, or just type in Betaflight. Then go on Betaflight configurator, it's the first one that comes up, chrome.google.com. Click on that, and I already have mine installed, but this button here will just be to download, Then once you've done that, just type in Chrome .//apps, and then it will load up with all your apps, and you just want to click on Betaflight, and then it should be there. See, my drone is already now plugged in, but if I just unplug it, now once I plug it in, it's on auto connect. So once I plug it in, then you just hit connect, and you are now successfully connected. So now what I want to do is, first I want to calibrate the accelerometer. So I just want to place the drone leveled, but let's first just reset this. So that just resets all the offsets. And now what I want to do is I want to calibrate the accelerometer, sorry. So I'm just placing the drone leveled, hit that, it's going to beep at me, it's now calibrating. Okay, it's now calibrated. If I reset that, now it should be perfectly level, which it is. So once you've done that, you can just ignore ports, configuration, power and battery, PID tuning. We can now go to receiver, and we can turn on our receiver. You heard that beep, that means the receiver's connected. Then we should move the sticks on the receiver, and just make sure that everything is doing the correct thing, basically. So throttle up, yes, that's correct. Yaw to the left, yes, that's correct. Yaw to the right, that's correct. And then on the other side, bank to the right, that's correct. Roll to the left, pitch up, correct. Pitch down, correct. So, and then just check your switches. Yes, so now my radio is completely correct. So, but if one of them's reversed, all you need to do is just go into the settings on your radio. So you just hit OK. If you're using FlySky, go to function setup, hit OK. Then you go to reverse, hit OK. And then if you want to just change one of the channels, you just hit down or up, depending on which way you want to reverse it. And then once you're done, you just hold down cancel. And that's all you need to do to reverse it. So once you've done that, we can go to modes, and what we're going to do is we're going to assign an arm switch to my first switch here. So when I flick it down, I want it to arm, it's already been set as an arm switch, which is actually great. But if you needed to do that, all you do is you drag the cursor to where you want it. So when my switch is in the down position, it's up here. When it's in the up position, it's up here. So if you wanted it to arm when the switch was up, you drag it over to here. But if you want it to arm when the switch is down, all you do is you drag it all the way over here. And now it is armed when the switch is down. So there's angle mode, which is, angle is just stabilize mode, which means if you push the sticks all the way to the edge, nothing will happen. It won't flip, it won't do anything like that. I don't want angle mode. I want horizon mode, which basically means it does everything that angle mode does. But if you push the sticks all the way to the very end, to its like threshold, the drone will flip over or roll or whatever you want to do with it, which I just prefer. It's just personal preference, this. And then I'm going to, when I flick my other switch down, it's going to go up to here. So I'm just going to drag it over, the cursor over to here. When I flick it up, so when the switch is flicked up, it's now going to be in angle mode. Sorry, not angle mode. It's now going to be in acro mode, which means there's no self-leveling whatsoever. So what I like to do is when I'm flying, I like to start off with the switch down in horizon mode. So just so I can get up with that self-leveling. And then once I'm, confident in the drone's ability, then I'll switch that off, and I will just go into angle mode and start flying. Okay, so to calibrate the ESCs, what you need to do is you need to go, I understand the risks. My propellers are on, but it should be fine. But honestly, don't put the propellers on if you're new to this, because you could seriously hurt yourself. So then you turn it all the way up. We shall now plug in the battery. And then once we put it all the way down, so now the ESCs are all calibrated and we can unplug the battery. And that is about it. The other thing we can do is we can plug in the battery once again and just check that the motors are correct. Now my propellers are on, so if you want to do this, keep it at a very, very low throttle and just check. Yes, that's motor 1. That's motor 2, which is also correct. Motor 3 and motor 4. So that is all correct. If any of them are reversed or you've got a problem with them, so if the motor's spinning the wrong way, all you need to do is cross 2 of the wires over and it will spin the right way. And if one is being detected, if motor 1 is up here instead of here, all you need to do is find the servo cable for motor 1 and motor 4 and flick them over. But that's only if this here is saying motor 1 and this here is saying motor 4. And if this was, and this is motor 2 and this is motor 3. So if this was saying this is motor 3 and this is motor 2, you just flick them over again. So once I've done that, I'm basically ready to go flying. So now I'm going to jump out of my beta flight. Just check that everything is done. We can ignore all of this. You can change the PID settings if you want. I quite like it at this curve that makes a nice smooth flight. But if you want to be more aggressive or make it even more of a curve, which will make it even more beginner-like, you can then change that in the PID settings. There are a lot of videos on YouTube on that, so just Google it if you're not sure what to do. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to jump out of this software now, and I'm going to charge up the battery, and I'm going to video it flying and show you how it flies. Now to charge the battery, I know a lot of you might have a charger with just a XT60 connector plug style. So all I've done is I've made a little harness from the XT60 connector down to the JST plug, so that will then work with your batteries that work for JST. Then all you do is you plug this into there, then you get this JST connector, you plug that into the JST connector on the battery. So that's how you do that. Hey guys, so I'm editing this video, and if you look back to my last YouTube video, it's about this mini drone, where I talk about, I'm doing a full review about it, but the problem is one of the motors stopped working. I've contacted Banggood and they're going to be sending me a new one, but at the end of the video I say I'm going to show you it flying, but obviously I can't do that now because one of the motors isn't working. So I'll show you it flying in about 1 to 2 weeks when it gets here from China. Sorry about that. But I did want to say Banggood and Eachine's quality control must be quite bad to see that the motor doesn't work after 50% throttle. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'll get back to you when the new motor arrives and show you what's going on and show you how it flies. Alright, thanks, bye.